Okay, this one's really for the programmers out there. A lot of times we have a need to be able to have some other system call what we call a webhook, which is basically an endpoint or a web service that receives data and then acts on it. So a lot of times that's somebody's gonna say, well, just give me an endpoint to call to, and you're going to say, okay, well, now I got to go ahead and create that. Well, our API tools allow you to do that pretty simply. So in the Catalina Integrator, you can go in and you can see something called webhooks, and it just allows you to create webhook endpoints very easily. So I'm just going to go into one, and you can see I've got one here that just receives data from a website, but I'm going to create a brand new one, and I'm just going to give it a name. And let's say we're doing something for bringing back say data from a payment processor. So and let's go ahead and give it a path. So we'll go payment processor, let's call it PayPal. So after we get a response from PayPal where it maybe authorizes a card or something like that, then it sends back transaction information behind the scenes and needs to go ahead and call a webhook, and it's going to send some data to it. And okay, so I can do that, and I could go ahead and then send it to a script if I wanted to. I'm just not going to do that right now. And then after you do that, then you've got to give it some security so that not just anybody can call it. And we've got API key management. I've got a few here, but let me go ahead and just save this first, and I'll show you how to create an API key. We've got API key management, and we can create a new API key, and I can generate, a quick, hard to deal with secret key, and we'll go. Just give it something. So now I've got a username and password that I can now use. We'll go ahead and save that, and we'll go back into our webhook, and we'll see here's our payment processor return, and then I can go and give that this key. So that's the PayPal login for callback webhook, and I'll just add that, and boom. So now once I've got that, then you need to give this to somebody that say PayPal or whoever's configuring things or whatever you're dealing with. So you can say, okay, well, here's the code that you would use. I can choose which key I want to use and just copy the code. So now I've got that code, and what this can then do, I'm going to pull up my my API tool, and I'm just going to import that code into here, and we'll just import it. And without doing anything, it already has gone and done everything that I need to do. I can just hit send, and so what it's going to do is just send back exactly what's been sent, because I haven't created a script or anything like that that'll run. So it's just bringing back an empty string. So if I go and maybe put in some data in here, not JavaScript, we'll put JSON, and so let's say that this is what PayPal is sending back to you. So if I hit send, it goes ahead and brings in, it just sends it straight back. So if I look back here, maybe I want to do something a little bit fancier. So I could go and now send data to a script. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose this send body object unchanged. We'll save this, and why don't we take a look at this? And so this is using our scripting capability, and you can see that we could actually even send it to other APIs if we wanted to, or MQTT or anything like that. But I'm just going to take a look at my script, and I'm going to do something to it. So body object is the data that PayPal is sending the webhook, and I could go ahead and send that data to another API if I wanted to act on it, or I can tweak it. So I'm just going to go ahead and what did I go ahead and amount? So why don't I'm just going to go ahead and add maybe $1 to it. Let's say So I'm just going to add $1 to it. And we're going to go ahead and say save. So with very little tweaking, I can now go ahead and rerun this. And it does its thing. And you can see here, I've just went ahead and modified the data that PayPal sent to me and did some things to it. Now again, I could go ahead and send this off to some other API or whatever. Like, so example would be is if PayPal sends me data back saying, okay, this card has been authorized for this, say, invoice, then I could go ahead and call one of Catalina's APIs to then create a payment in Dynamics SL in the AR module to be able to go ahead and handle that. And we've got all kinds of ways to do that. And if anybody has questions on how to do that, you can certainly ask, and I can go ahead and give that information. But really what this is this is a very quick way to create a webhook or a callback URL that will receive data and then be able to go and do things with it. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask, and look forward to talking to you. Bye.